La Tortilla factory tortillas are out of this world, literally. Because of their high nutritional value, NASA astronauts enjoy them in outer space. Let's take a look at the origins of their business.
The tortilla factory got started with a dream. I believe that God puts dreams in the heads of visionary people. In this case, that visionary was my father. His name was Jose. And my mother, too, bought into that dream, and her name was Mary, Jose and Mary Tamayo.
Mom and Dad grew up in the Depression. And what they always taught us was to treat every single employee with dignity and respect. And we did that. They had 5 sons. All of them went to college.
1977, we started with a $75,000 SBA loan and $25,000 of our grandparents and our uncle's own money, and we started a company, La Tortilla Factory. It was a Mexicatessen, like a delicatessen, but featuring Mexican food.
And each brother had a particular responsibility, a particular area within the business that he was responsible for.
We focused in on that restaurant business for about 6 months because our tortilla equipment was being especially built for us in LA. So we got started with that, and when that tortilla equipment arrived, we were able to do both the taqueria and the tortilleria. And my mother and father and I would come to work every morning at about 4. After the last customer came in and we closed the doors, we'd start cleaning up and preparing to get ready for tomorrow. So by the time we got home, it was probably 8 or 9 o'clock. We used to work 15, 16-hour days for a while, quite a while. We had everybody in the family at that time that was able to help, that was helping us in one way or the other. So it was really a family business.
Grandpa Tamayo, unfortunately, was diagnosed with diabetes. And because of diabetes, he could no longer eat flour tortillas, which contain sugar. Our Uncle Mike, who we lovingly call the mad scientist, who is a genius in research and development, educated at the American Institute of Baking in Manhattan, Kansas. And he said, you know what? I'm gonna make you something you can eat, Grandpa, a whole wheat tortilla. Well, whole wheat tortillas ended up being low in carbs, so low in sugar, low in fat, low in calories, and we put it out on the market.
The one thing we realized was that in creating these healthy for you, unique, value-added products, if it met the consumer's needs, they were willing to pay a fair price for that product, and we were able to ship it around the country. That's where we were able to gain brand recognition.
And then the next thing we know is we got this call from Fran McCullough, who was the New York Times food editor, and she was on a wine trip vacation here in Sonoma County, and she called Uncle Mike and says, oh, I'd love to use your tortilla in my new cookbook. Well, next thing you know, Atkins is big, and low-carb diets and Mediterranean diets, and we had already had this rocket ship there, but we didn't know it. Next thing we knew is we couldn't keep up with production because so many people wanted the tortilla.
We had wonderful role models within this community. We looked around when we first started and we saw how successful they were. We recognized part of their success was their involvement and commitment to supporting the community. So we became involved and supportive of the community. And as we've grown, our commitment also has grown.
It felt good to be able to not only participate in community involvement, but it gave me an opportunity to take a little bit of a break from making tortillas and burritos all day.
And it's important for us to give back to the community. That's definitely a grandma and grandpa Tamayo thing. I know You know, just as a small example would be when Grandma would come to any type of sporting event, and they all came to, there's 11 grandkids, and they came to all of the sporting events for all of them. But whenever Grandma Tamayo showed up, she showed up with a cooler full of burritos. Because it was, and that's where it starts, the charity of giving things away, of sharing your food with everybody, of sharing and caring and loving. It starts there, you know, and that's definitely something that's been passed down. And I see it with my uncles, and I see it with my cousins and myself, and it's a real tremendous honor to be part of the Tamayo family.
Because of their dedicated involvement in the community, the Tamayo family will be the Grand Marshals for the 2011 Luther Burbank Rose Parade and Festival. Thanks for watching. Join us again next time on Snapshots, the show that brings you the small stories that make Sonoma County big in the best way.